In June 2006, compelling reasons sent a group of lawyers to the Philippines to conduct an international fact-finding mission. The group included the Dutch Lawyers for Lawyers Foundation, Lawyers Without Borders, and the International Association of Democratic Lawyers.
We have been alarmed by a situation in the Philippines. We have been told that lawyers and judges are being killed because of human rights activities.
In November 2008, the Dutch Lawyers for Lawyers embarked on another mission to find out if the human rights situation in the Philippines had improved.
We decided to come for a second time to the Philippines, and the main purposes of this mission is actually to investigate what has happened with the cases we investigated already in 2006.
The Arroyo government has made strong efforts to delude the international community into believing that the human rights condition in the country is improving, and the holding of an objective and independent international fact-finding mission will expose the contrary reality, that the human rights situation is deteriorating.
Ang mga nanay, kapatid at anak ay hindi pwedeng sumurrender. Maghahanap at maghahanap. Tututol at tututol. Nung nawala si Jonah, si Palparan ang nakaupo sa 7th Infantry Battalion bilang commander.
In fact, extrajudicial killings are once again on the rise, and attacks on human rights defenders through the filing of harassment cases and trumped-up criminal charges has increased.
This second fact-finding mission was composed of judges and lawyers from the Netherlands and Belgium.
Human rights is the basis of unity of the National Union of People's Lawyers for the poor and the oppressed. We have a bias, we have to admit, for the poor and the marginalized sectors of Philippine society. We define human rights as not only involving civil and political rights, but also involving the so-called second generation rights, which is economic, social, and cultural rights.
The mission first met with Supreme Court Chief Justice Renato S. Puno to learn about current moves in addressing human rights violations in the country. They talked about the government-initiated fact-finding Melo Commission that was formed in August 2006, as well as the writ of amparo which the High Court itself put into effect on October 24, 2007. On their second day, the mission flew to Cagayan de Oro in Northern Mindanao, where they were warmly welcomed by Mindanao and Visayas-based people's lawyers.
First is Attorney Federico Gabos. He is our chair of the Union of People's Lawyers in Mindanao. Then we have Attorney Beverly Mosney. She is also a labor arbiter. In the nearly 8 years of the Arroyo presidency, the extrajudicial killings in Mindanao has claimed 238 activists in Mindanao alone, and there were 47 persons who have been forcibly disappeared. The records of human rights groups across Mindanao show that the killings and enforced disappearance target mostly members of and officers of people's organizations and progressive party list groups, peasants organizations, indigenous peoples, and Moro communities.
We went on a mission before in 2006. We then investigated attacks against lawyers and judges in the Philippines.
The members of the mission spent 2 full days discussing with people's lawyers and judges. They personally heard the testimonials of the victims and their families and witnessed their grief.
After the killing, I received my cell phone that 2 more people will be killed in that area, and one of them is me. Wow! I received several death threats. Most of the cases that I handled were prosecuted. The governor, military, and also cases related with the movement.
But we were specifically brought into these threats and harassments when we started to entertain cases like rebellion cases.
Last year, this is one of the latest cases that I filed in relation to human rights. I filed a case against the Tabak Division Commander of the 1st Infantry Division of Zamboanga, stationed in Labangan, Zamboanga del Sur. I charged before the Office of the Ombudsman Major General Nehemias Pajarito for having established some 10 checkpoints in one municipality. That was, of course, in relation to the elections that was conducted in 2007.
I have to travel from my law office to a certain regional trial courts by not even divulging it to my wife where I am going for security measures.
The mission returned to Manila with much proof that in the Visayas and Mindanao, central and southern parts of the Philippines, the persecution of people's lawyers and judges had not abated.